So friends, if I get a deer with my center fire, I'm going to take this out tonight. I know I saw a bunch of hog sign right over near a feeder. We're going to take the dragon claw out.
We are here to talk about the snap lock hunting blinds. This is the Freedom Blind by Formex. We're going to make some great venison jerky here, so stay tuned. Welcome to A Sportsman's Life. We're so glad you tuned in to join us for another exciting real-world outdoor adventure right here on A Sportsman's Life.
Well, friends, it's Luke Clayton. I am down on the porch of our little camper here. Jeff and I bought this camper several years ago, and it's a great little headquarters for a quick hunt, or you can stay a while in it. Down at the Buck and Bass Ranch, which is owned by my friends Jeff Rice and his wife Demi. If I were to tell you about all the good times I've had here, I'd have to write several books probably. Just a great place. I beat Jeff down here actually. I've got my Mossberg. This is a 6.5 Creedmoor Patriot, Mossberg Patriot. I've killed a couple of deer with it and a couple of hogs, but it's still kind of new to me as rifles go. I've only had it about a year. Don't try to shoot a buck. I've never killed a buck down here. I've killed countless hogs. I've had plenty of opportunities. I've just never shot a buck, but I think I'm going to get one today or in the morning. Now this, friends, is the Seneca Dragon Claw. 50 caliber air gun with a AGM Global Vision Rattler scope on it. So friends, if I get a deer with my center fire, I'm going to take this out tonight. I know I saw a bunch of hog sign right over near a feeder. We're going to take the dragon claw out and see if we can get some pork to go with that venison. I'll probably be really quiet when I get in the blind. It's probably a quarter of a mile from here where I'm going to be hunting. But lots of deer sign. Jeff killed a good buck down here a couple weeks ago. And I might just shoot a buck, so stick with me, let's see what happens. I am all settled in here. I'm going to be a little bit quiet. The feeder is down this way. I'm going to give you a look at where I'm hunting, called the Vernon Blind. But the feeder's down there, I'm going to say 125 yards. Easy shot. Got a good rest up here on this window for the rifle. Let me give you a look at what we're seeing. I got down here a little bit earlier and corned the road, which is pretty good. Those deer are coming across anywhere, they'll probably stop them. There's not a lot of width here. Shooting lane. It's probably 30, 40 yards wide, but my goal or my hope is to stop one right here. I know Jeff got a good buck here that you watched on the Sportsman Live a couple of weeks ago, I think. So let me quieten down. Let me show you what we're looking at right here. Wish me luck. Just sitting in a comfortable blind watching wildlife is almost as much fun as actually the moment that buck comes out. I said almost. I've always been fascinated with crows. Not sure they're not one of the smartest critters in the woods.
Well, friends, these wise old crows are going to wrap this little portion of our show up. This was one of those clear, cool, very, very still afternoons. I know if you've hunted much, you've experienced this. Nothing was moving except the crows. So let's head back to the camp house. Jeff and I have a snap-lock hunting blind, one of their new Freedom blinds, to put up tomorrow. So join us in the woods. We're going to set this thing up and create a brand new hunting place down here on the Buck and Bass Ranch.
Brought to you by Dallas Safari Club, Conservation, Education, and Hunter Advocacy. Hornaday, accurate, deadly, dependable. Taurus Firearms, maker of the Raging Hunter. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to talk about the Snap Lock hunting blinds. This is the Freedom Blind by Formex, is the company that manufactures the Snap Lock hunting blinds. This is their new product line. And Mr. Luke Clayton's here with me today, and we have several Snap Lock hunting blinds. We have never set up one of the Freedom. These are the new ones. And Luke, we're going to show the folks out there how simple they really are to put up.
That's right, Jeff, and neither one of us have even looked at the instructions, but I did watch the video. It's going to be step by step setting it up. You need a level foundation, 8-aught blocks, and a sheet of 4x8 3/4 inch plywood. And I tell you, our Snap Lock blinds, which don't ship, they're not made to ship other than motor freight.
That's correct.
That's the big deal. These Freedom blinds, they'll ship right. These came right to my door, you know.
Yeah.
So that's a big, big plus.
And they're easier to move. They're a smaller box, because the other ones that we set up that came via motor freight were larger boxes.
Yeah.
These are smaller, easier to maneuver. You could probably throw them on the back of a buggy or a four-wheeler and take them right out to the spot you want to set them up with. And so we're eager to get this set up, aren't we?
Yes, sir. Jeff, I think they probably don't, our friends don't need to watch us leveling it up, but we can get our platform set down, and then when we resume, we'll start setting up.
We'll start setting this up. We'll get the instructions out, and we'll go through it together, and we're going to learn, just like you, how easy these are to set up. So stay tuned. Let's get it going, huh? All right, folks, that didn't take long. We've got the base in. We've got our 8-aught blocks laid down, our 4x8 sheet of plywood. Luke, pretty level, isn't it?
Yeah, that's, being an old surveyor, it might be a 1/8 of an inch off, but it's good. Put the weight on it, it's going to level up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, let's tear into this box and get out the instructions and take a look at them, and we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
All right, folks, we are unboxing the Snap Lock Freedom Blind here, and I'm going to show you exactly how to put this thing together. So
This is going to be easy, Jeff. I can see that. The Snap Lock, the original, was so easy, and I see a lot of the same similarities with this Freedom Blind. So I'm anxious to put it together.
definitely. All right, folks, well, we're unboxing it. We've got our 3 panels or whatever out, and our instruction booklet. So we'll kind of get things started. We'll have to open up this other box, which is the extension. Makes it a 4x8 instead of a 4x4. So far, so good. This looks pretty darn easy, huh, Luke?
I think it's going to be simple.
Not a whole lot of pieces.
Shoot a hog out of it.
Go hunting.
Yeah.
All right, let's unbox this other one.
Well, Jeff, what do you say we open the instructions and begin with number 1 and start setting this thing up?
Absolutely.
Here's our parts wrapped around back here, but yeah, I don't think this is going to take very long, even for first-timers like us.
I believe this looks like roof pieces here, so I'm guessing this is probably the 4x4, and this is the extension.
I believe you're right.
I think that's the case. So
there's your gable. Yep.
Yep. So we've kept them separate, so we'll get started on this one.
Open instructions.
Always open instructions. I guarantee this is not going to be hard to put together.
No.
Not a lot of pieces. It's really pretty handy.
Right. Okay, well, let's get going.
Let's do it. Enclosed is, of course, some bungees for the windows themselves right here. Most importantly, the instructions. So looks like we're going to need a screwdriver, and don't know what else, but we're going to start digging into the instruction book. And this guy here is going to make it happen.
It's going to happen. Folks, if we can do it, you can do it. Trust me.
Okay, folks, step 1, very simple. Get your door, screw your window into the door. That took us all about 2 seconds.
These little screws have a flange, and they just hold the plexiglass.
So our door is ready to roll. Okay, on to step 2. All right, Luke, it looks like we lay the door on the flat surface with the inside black side up. So it's going to lay right in here.
It's there, yeah.
It's going to lay it right in there.
Yep.
And yeah, then we're going to put some hinges on it. So not much to that.
Let's see which side is going to be the window.
Yeah, the black side is going to be
Look at
perfect. See, the hinges go here.
Yep.
Nothing to it. All right,
So simple.
let's get them hinges on.
Here we go.
All right, that was pretty easy.
Yep, there's our door. Took all of about 2 minutes. The 3 hinges were
12,
simple.
12 screws, 3 hinges. We've got our door in.
So to get us to the point, the plexiglass is held in by these little screws. That's what holds them in. And then of course we've got
3 hinges in.
and we're ready to go.
We're ready to go. All
Okay,
right,
moving
on to the
forward.
next step, my friend.
You bet.
While we're sitting here, I'm just going to kind of pan around and show you exactly what this spot looks like here. It's a series of ridges in here, and these deer love to run these ridges, and this is going to be an absolutely fantastic spot.
This is going to be a killer place right here, as our friends can see. These draws, and where do bucks like to run? Where did we see that buck? On that ridge.
Running that
right
ridge right there, yeah.
Yep.
That's kind of funny over there, Luke. I just spotted a nice rub. I'm going to zoom in on it here.
I see it, yeah.
You see that there?
On that pine,
Yeah,
cedar, I guess it is.
right
yeah.
there. Look
Yep.
at that. You don't think there's bucks in here? Oh, they're here. All right, on to building. Well, we've been working on this for all but about 20 minutes, and really it's so simple. It's putting the door in, putting the windows in on each panel, and then we're going to assemble. So far, Luke, this has been a pretty easy project, hasn't it?
Very easy, very easy. And we're
Nothing
about
to it.
say, probably 3/4 of the way done already.
Yeah. Once we get the windows in, I think she just snaps together, and we're going to be rocking and rolling here shortly. So far,
So good.
I'll give it 5 stars.
Darn right.
This has been very, very easy. All right, let me give you a hand. We'll get the windows completed and in, and then it's assembly time. All righty, we have our windows all in, and instructions. Yes, you go by the instructions, which are written very well, by the way. These are easy to read.
Whoever wrote those was obviously had some engineering training.
So basically, there are 5 tabs on each side of the front wall and the back wall, okay? 20 total. Fold each tab 90 degrees toward the inside as shown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go.
Okay, and here's the tabs to bend up. Basically just 90 degrees. You can do it with your finger. There we go. So they're ready to go. Yep.
Very simple. Not much to that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. We're probably 20 minutes in on our setup.
Yep, maybe
15.
30. Yeah, matter of now just bolting each panel in and lining up the little snap locks, if you will, and then just run a bolt through and
These just bolt in place. 1, 2, 4 bolts on either side.
yep,
Very simple. Honestly, more simple than I thought it was going to be.
yeah.
Well, let's get going. Let's get this thing.
So now this would have been a 4x4. We would have put another wall here, but instead it comes with an extra 2 panels. So now we'll put those extra panels in that we have over here and make it an 4x8.
This will take a little bit longer, the 4x8, but we have several of the snap lock hunting blinds, the 4x4s.
Yep.
This is going to be a Cadillac, 8 foot long.
Yes, sir. And the only thing I would say at this point, and this is not a negative, but if you were trying to do this by yourself, holding a panel and trying to screw it in would be a little bit difficult. So having a good buddy of yours handy will make this job so much more simple.
Bring your son or daughter with you.
That's right.
Somebody to hold something.
That's right, because somebody needs to hold a panel as you're screwing them in. Other than that, it's just simple stuff. So, all right, we're going to continue our construction here, and we'll check back in a minute. All right, 3 sides on, or 2 sides on, the door on. We got 2 more sides to put on, and then we'll put our end cap on. It'll be roof time, and it'll be time to hunt. Not hard at all. The trick is when you put a panel in, Luke, show them what we were doing with the screwdriver. So,
I'll just simulate right here. Once you put put the screwdriver in and kind of make sure you've got the screwdriver all the way through, Philip said. Then you'll just wallow it around a little bit, put the screw up there, and just pop. And it goes through, and then just put the nut on the inside.
And hence the reason why having a second person, someone can hold, someone can stick a screw in, put the nut on the end, and you're off to the races. So let's get these other two panels up, and we'll come back, and then we'll put the end cap on, and then we'll work on the roof. So we've been working at this probably 40 minutes or so.
Yep.
Not bad, and that's from the time we pulled up. So
includes the foundation.
yeah, it really hasn't taken that long at all. These are so
about
sweet.
it, Jeff, if we're in a place here that if you were to try to, you'd have to build a blind here. If you were going to build, say, a elevated blind, you'd have to bring everything in and build it. With these, which we learned long ago, with the snap locks, man, the panels are light. You can move them. It's the way to go.
Well, we're in the process of putting the last end cap on this, and we then we'll add the roof, and Mr. Luke Clayton, who's sitting inside, can get his rifle and go to town. So these are great blinds. Man, I tell you what, folks, check them out. Snap lock hunting blinds. Formex.com. Is that correct, Luke? Formex.com?
Yep. These are the Freedom blinds. Ship right to your door.
Yes, sir. All right, we're going to finish it up here, folks. We'll come back here shortly. Okay, we have one more half section of roof to put on, and our snap lock Freedom blind will be ready to roll. Nice. What do you think about this? It's not a bad job, is it?
No, it's a two-man job, or a man and a child, somebody on the outside to hold.
Yep.
But yeah, look at it. I like the looks of it too, you know.
Yes, sir.
And it's amazing how, at first, you wonder what's going to give it strength, but as you continue to put parts, sections up, it's really strong. It's strong now, but we put this other piece of roof up, it's really going to strengthen things up.
It sure will.
Yep.
Looking good. All right, let's get that last piece up, and then I think it'll be time for a little lunch and
That's
a
right.
cold drink.
Exactly.
All right, let's get her going. Well, Luke, it's warmed up a couple of degrees since we started this project.
It has.
What? This didn't take us, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half?
Something
hour,
like that,
45
from
minutes, just
scratch.
under 2 hours, and we've got it all together. We've got our bungees all ready to go here. You open up the windows and pull a bungee strap, and they pop open.
And shut.
And shut. They bungee shut, too, to keep critters out.
Door operational, there's plenty of room. I'm 6'1", and Jeff's 6'2" or 3". Plenty, had Jeff standing there, plenty of headspace, you know.
Yeah, let me get the camera. Let's take a look inside. There we are, folks. We're all set. We've got our snap lock hunting blind. Yeah, the Freedom blind. So when you hear us on the show, you know, talking about which blind we're going to go to, if Luke says I'm going to the Freedom blind, you can be hunting right here. And I wouldn't blame you to do that, because this spot right here, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good place.
I think you're going to see some deer.
Well, look at the headroom. You're 6'3"?
Yeah, 6'4", and
6'4". Okay, you got.
I literally got extra headroom.
I'm
here,
looking
so.
at 6 or 8 inches headroom.
Yeah,
Also blind.
Yeah, the nice thing about it is you can stretch and stand up and move around and not get detected by game out there. And man, this thing looks comfortable. I need a couple chairs, and man, we'll be all set to go. So it's that simple, folks. I mean, under 2 hours, Luke and I put this 4x8 blind together, and check them out at formex.com. Absolutely awesome blinds.
Freedom blind. And if you were setting up just the 4-footer, I mean, obviously it would be
a lot quicker.
Lot quicker.
Sure.
But it would not be as roomy as the 8-footer.
No, these. My wife and I can sit in here together and enjoy an afternoon or morning of hunt, and this is going to be pretty sweet. So thank you to Formex Snap Lock Hunting Blind, Formex.com. Check them out. These blinds are totally awesome. You need one on your place. All right, Luke, let's go get a little lunch. What do you think? A Sportsman's Life is also brought to you by Mossberg, American built, American strong. The YO Steakhouse, Catch and Release Apparel, AGM Global Vision, your go-to for thermal hunting scopes and spotters. Pyramid Air, your one-stop shop for everything air guns.
This is Mr. Whitetail's first trip to Lake Texoma. How do you like it?
I absolutely love it. I've been all around this lake, and I've always heard about you guys, and I knew I wasn't going to go fishing until I got to go fish with y'all. So it took a little time for us to get there.
Get up there and get another one.
This is fantastic, by golly. Absolutely the greatest fishing in the world.
Today we're going to talk a little bit about making jerky. This is just a tenderloin off of a deer that I recently shot. I've got a couple more pieces over here, but we're going to slice this. We want to get it consistently sliced. Then we're going to marinate it, and then we're going to put it on a Smoke and Tex electric smoker. So stick with me here, folks. We're going to kind of show you how we do this, but you want to start with frozen meat, because trying to cut meat that's thawed, it's hard to cut it perfect. When it's frozen, it cuts real nice and it gives you nice smooth cuts. So let's go ahead and make a cut here. I've got it set at about, well, it's a number 6 here, but it's about 3/8 of an inch is about how thick I want my jerky. I just want to stop and show you what we're doing here. So we're cutting up this venison backstrap, and it's about 3/8 of an inch or so. We're cutting these with a meat slicer to get them so they're all about the same. And the reason you want them the same size is they cook more evenly. So we're going to be putting these on the Smoke and Tex in a few days. We're going to actually let this sit in the refrigerator, and we're going to put some spice on it. We're going to put some marinade on it. Let her sit for a couple days, and then we're going to come back and we're going to smoke this. We are making venison jerky, so stay tuned. All right, that completes it. We've cut up all of our jerky that we're going to make here. So give you a good look at this here. How about that? All right, we're going to get her seasoned and marinating, and then we're going to make some great venison jerky here, so stay tuned. Well, friends, here we go. I've got the venison backstrap cut, and as you can see, again, all the pieces are the same size, the same thickness. And that's what you want, because that's how they cook really good. So really, that's the key to it, cutting in the same size. Now what we're going to do is we're going to throw them in this larger bucket, and we're going to season. Now you can season, some people like just peppered, some people like hot, you know, the gamut. It's the seasonings you like. What I typically do is I'll put like some Worcestershire sauce, maybe some soy sauce, and then just some seasonings that I like, mix it up, put it back into this little tin. We'll put her back in the fridge, and we're going to let her sit for a couple days, but we want to get it all mixed up real good. It's still a little bit frozen yet. I kind of wish it was a little bit more thawed out, but I guarantee once it gets in this liquid, we're going to be sitting good. So as you can see here, we're just going to splash a bunch of Worcestershire sauce, which we don't have a lot left, which there you go. That's what we have. That'll work. We want to put a little soy sauce in there as well. Enough to get it good and wet. All right, and then season to your liking. That's what I like to do. Use the seasonings that you like. This is a salt and pepper. It's 5 different kinds of salt, 5 different kinds of pepper. And it's really good. So you want to cover it pretty liberally, because it's going to sit in there for, like I said, a few days. This is a little jerky marinade we're going to sprinkle on there. Seasoning. We got one more I want to put on just to add a little zing to it. There we go. Now we just want to work it and make sure everything is super good and covered. It's starting to thaw out now, but pieces are holding together nicely. That will make for some great jerky, I promise you. Venison jerky, this is not hard to do. You shoot a deer, take a little of the meat. Like I said, I use the back strap because it's super good. And make some jerky. It's fun, it's easy. All right, I think we got it pretty well mixed up there. We're gonna bring our pan back in here and we're gonna load it up because we're gonna leave it sit in here for a few days. Almost age the meat, and then you smoke it on our Smokin' Tex electric smoker. Friends, that will be some mighty fine jerky. All right, we've got our venison jerky marinating in this tin, and we'll come back in a couple days and we'll be making some jerky. All right, folks, we have our jerky that's been marinating in the refrigerator for 2 days. Just take a look at it. There it is. Beautiful. I want you to take a look at these little strips. So what we're going to do is we're going to fire up our Smokin' Tex electric smoker, and we're going to smoke these beautiful pieces of venison, and we're going to make some venison jerky. So again, you want to marinate this stuff for a couple days so that marinade gets well absorbed into the meat, and then when you smoke it, then you'll get all that flavor. So what we want to do is put the Smokin' Tex on about 150 degrees, 175 degrees, give or take. Probably not anything more than 175 degrees. We want to put a little wood in there to get it smoking, and we're going to smoke it 2.5 hours, and then we're going to start checking it after that. We want to make darn sure we don't overcook this stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start laying it out on the racks, and then we'll get the Smokin' Tex going, and we'll get this stuff on the smoker. We'll check it periodically, and we'll go from there. So here we go. They do make racks that are a little bit smaller and easier to hold pieces of meat so they don't fall through. But we can get it to work on here if we're just careful. Just want to lay each piece on there. Oops. Got plenty of racks to work with. We want to get this all on there perfect. So we're going to fill up another rack or two, but here's what it looks like. We're going to get this on the Smokin' Tex and start our jerky. So here we go. In our firebox, we want to put some wood. Not a lot of wood. I'm just putting 4 small pieces of pecan wood in there, right over the holes so we get them to burn and smoke nicely. Okay, we got our firebox loaded up with 4 small pieces of pecan wood. We're going to close that, slide that baby in. We've got all of our racks of venison jerky laid out. We're going to put the Smokin' Tex on for 150 degrees right there, and we are going to sit back, wait. We'll come back and check it. It's what is it, 11:30 right now? About 1:30 we'll come check it, see what it looks like, and then we'll monitor it from there to make sure our jerky comes out perfect. So just want to give you an idea what that all looks like. Just little pieces of jerky meat, all marinated nicely, laid out nicely on the racks, and so they smoke evenly. Again, you cut them evenly, same thickness, and then they tend to come out real nice. So, all right, we'll be back shortly. We'll check on these here in a few hours and see how they're doing. Just checking on this here. We are about 2 hours in, a little over 2 hours in, and starting to dry out a little bit, as you can see here, but we've got a ways to go yet. You see how soft and pliable it is? It's got a ways to go, so we are going to let her go. Again, we're at 150 degrees, so let's give her some more time. All right, we are at the 4-hour mark. It has been smoking on 150 degrees for 4 hours. We want to test it every time, so you can see this meat is still very spongy, if you will. So it's got to go a little bit longer. So we're going to leave it on here and let it continue to smoke. Well, as promised, folks, we're back. It's been exactly 5 hours, believe it or not. I've taken a few pieces off. I want to show you. I'm going to take a few more pieces off here, but just wanted to show you here. It's starting to get, some of the smaller strips like this are done. They're ready to go, so I've been throwing those in there, but there's a few pieces that just are a little bit soft yet. So we're going to let those stay on a little bit. I'm going to pick through and pull out the ones like this here that's ready to go and get them off. And then we'll let the other ones smoke just a little bit longer, and we're going to have some awesome venison jerky. Look at that. I better give it a try. That's perfect consistency. Just like, that's how I like beef jerky. Well, just want to wrap the video up. We got all of our venison jerky off of the smoke and Tex, just right at 5 hours, a little over 5 hours for a couple pieces, but they're really cut the same size. There was just a couple pieces that I guess needed a little more time based on where they were on the grill. But when you're trying to make jerky, you're looking for, smoking it to where when you bend it, you see that white fiber. Piece of jerky from me. Thank you for joining me on the show.
Folks, this segment was brought to us by Gearhead Archery, Smoke and Tex Electric Smokers, Snaplock Hunting Blinds, YO Ranch Headquarters, Ultramatic Feeders, and Catfish Pro. Tune in next week for some more real-world outdoor adventures right here on A Sportsman's Life.